Welcome back to Box Office Maniacs. It's Friday, it's Franchise Friday, and we are continuing the Turtles in the Half Shell with I'm assuming it's supposed to be the fourth film, but it's just called Tmnt, which if anyone was a fan of Turtles, or who wasn't a fan of Turtles, would have no idea what that was.
Yeah, well, I think you can kind of get the hint. It's called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It's not called that. It's abbreviated as TMNT. It's not even called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Well, that's what it represents, is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
But it's not called that. It's called TMNT. Get your facts straight here, Vince.
Or we just call it the Turtles.
Because that's not cool, Vince.
Cool for me, Ninja Turtles.
We got to be cool here.
All right, finally, some excitement.
Well, it was probably like 65 years after the third one came out, it seems like. Because by the time this one came out, nobody cared about the Turtles. At least when the third one came out, it was still semi-popular, I guess. But when this came out, as far as I know, there was no cartoon. There was no Turtle brand. There was no Turtle anything. And they just dropped this like, here, have a Turtles movie.
Well, they did announce that they were going to do another one. And actually, after the third one, they said they were going to do a fourth one. And then for a long time, you didn't hear anything about it, and that's probably why, because they kind of sort of dropped off the face of the earth, almost. I mean, Ninja Turtles were still kind of around, but they weren't as popular as near as popular as they were. And yeah, it is kind of like you said, it was kind of like they just kind of dropped this in your lap. But when they first talked about doing this particular film, and they said they're going to do an animated version of it, I had to say, you know, I was kind of like, well, I really want to see the Ninja Turtles again. I want to see them do the live action Ninja Turtles like they did in the first film. I really kind of wish they would do that again. But then I saw the actual trailer for this, and I was like, oh, okay, I see where they're going. And I was like, okay, I'm there. This looks pretty good.
Yeah, before doing this review, I actually looked up to watch the original trailer for this, and it's really freaking cool. The trailer is great. It starts all black, and then all of a sudden you see like their headband blowing in the wind, and then all their eyes light up, white, and they jump and they're going through the city, and it's really freaking awesome. And it reminded me of the comic. Like, this is it. It's getting serious again, like the first film, or serious like the original comic, and that's where I thought this was going. So I actually went to the show to go see this when it came out because I was pretty excited. And I can tell you, watching it now, I have zero memory of this film. It's like my wife kept saying, we didn't go see this. We didn't go see this in a show. I don't remember this movie. I said, yes, we did. We went to go see it. I don't remember going to see it. And truthfully, I don't remember it either, but I know we saw it.
Well, I know I saw it. I know as soon as it came out, I went and saw it, and I know you did because we got together and talked about it. And one of the biggest scenes in here that we absolutely loved was the scene between Raphael and Leonardo.
That's because that's like the best scene in the film, and actually that was watching it, I kept thinking, is that in this movie? That scene in here? And it was. And Let's talk about the film here for a minute, though. What I liked about it is they kind of went back to sort of what the comic in the first one was about, that Leonardo and Raphael always had like this fight against each other. Like, Raphael feels that he needs to be in charge, and he doesn't like Leonardo being in charge. And that was like front and center in this animated movie.
Yeah, there was always tension between the two, and I liked what they did in here, where they split them up. They kind of split everybody up, except for maybe Michelangelo and Donatello. They're still kind of together, but Leonardo's gone, and Raphael's off doing his own thing. So, and Casey Jones and April O'Neil are kind of off doing their own thing. So, it's like everybody's split up, and then throughout the movie, they tried to bring them back together.
And, it's actually a really pretty good movie. I'm not going to say it's a great film, but for what they were trying to do is they were bringing the Turtles back, trying to make it a franchise again. And obviously it didn't work because it was this one and that was it until the brand new one just came out a couple years ago. But I did like it. I thought the story was pretty good, actually. It was pretty original for a Turtles movie. And I want to ask you this, this is something else when I was watching this, is could they have made this into a live action film? The same exact story, the same exact thing, would it have worked if it was live action?
They probably could do it now. At the time that this came out, I don't think so. Now, with the way CGI is and the whole green screen and all that, the way they do digital filming now, they probably could do it, and do this story.
And we were talking about the best part in this entire film is Raphael in the movie. When Leonardo leaves, he ends up, going out and becoming a vigilante. And he was wearing this really cool looking armor that he had on. And he figured he had to keep the city safe. And then Leonardo is like, when he comes back, he hears about this vigilante and he goes after him, not realizing it's Raphael. And then Raphael and him, they clash in this amazing sequence. It's in the rain, pouring down raining, and they're fighting each other. And it's just incredible. That whole sequence was just jaw-dropping. It was amazing then, and it's still amazing now.
Yeah, it looks incredible. I mean, it looks like it would be live action to a point. I mean, you're looking at an animated film, but the animation in this, the way they did the Turtles, the way they did the whole animation in this, especially with the Turtles, was just outstanding. It was Pixar good. I mean, it was so good the way they did it. But with that said, and like I said, with the Turtles, it looked fantastic. When it got to the humans, they looked like a cartoon. And I was kind of wondered, why did they do that? Why didn't they try to make them a little more human looking, But I don't know. In the film, it works. I mean, I'm okay with it. I mean, I didn't think it was a terrible thing, but I just wondered why they didn't put more into making the humans look human. And
the story here was pretty good. Like I said, I like the fact that they tried to go back to like ancient Japan and things like that, and they actually brought in some monsters this time and some immortal people, and the bad guy was pretty bad guy, I guess. He was doing what he thought was right, I guess, but at the same time he was evil because he became immortal. And I don't know, it was just a really pretty good story. It wasn't great by any stretch, but I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that totally, because it had kind of a strong bad guy in there, but he was a bad guy without really being a bad guy. That was the thing. He was being the bad guy, but he was being it out of like jealousy and remorse and sorrow and all of that. But in the end, it's kind of, the end of the film, the way they end the film is kind of like, it's not. I mean, they have this huge battle and the whole thing, and they put everything right, but the way they did it, it kind of looked like Ghostbusters. And it's just, I don't know. I wasn't crazy about the ending of the film, but the movie itself, I mean, the story and everything seemed really good. I actually enjoyed it.
And Patrick Stewart was doing the voice of the bad guy as well, so... And then Sarah Michelle Gellar, Buffy, was in there, and I think she was April O'Neil. Was that the character she played? I think.
Yes.
I know Lawrence Fishburne was in there somewhere doing something, but I don't remember what character he was.
Lawrence Fishburne was the narrator.
But overall, it's actually a good film. I think it's a forgotten movie. I think a lot of people don't remember this movie even existed, unless you're a Turtles fan. You probably have no idea this was even a thing that even came out or anything. And if you are, a Turtles fan, or if you're not a Turtles fan, give this one a shot. I think you'll like it. And I'm going to give the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or the TMNT, or Ninja Turtles, or whatever you want to call this.
Ninja Turtles 4.
Good job, Vince.
Ninja Turtles 4.
A 4? Wait a minute. Now you're messing me up. I'm not giving it a 4. I'm giving this a 3 out of 5.
I actually really enjoyed this film. And like I said, I enjoyed the animation. I thought the animation was just flippin' fantastic, especially the turtles. And I really enjoyed the story. I don't think, like David, I didn't think it was the most amazing story I've ever seen. But it was all right. I just wasn't crazy about the ending. But anyway, I liked the way they also took the story, that they didn't necessarily forget the other three films. You know, they actually took the story after what happened with all the other three movies. So, like, this would have been the live-action Ninja Turtles 4. Overall, I really enjoyed the story, and I actually would give it a 4 out of 5.
So there you go. There is the next. Actually, it's not last. We got 2 more movies to go. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's been a long Friday. In the Turtle franchise here.
It's the last of the original Turtle films, actually.
Yeah, and then it was probably 2,500 years later, they came out with a new one. And it was surrounded by controversy when it was coming out. And it should be an interesting review, and it's actually one I've been wanting to review for a long time. So that will be next Friday on our Franchise Fridays, if you want to tune in and check it out.
That's when Michael Bay took over.
Pretty much, yeah. Or at least he put his name on it anyway.
So you guys got to stick around. All you maniacs out there have to stick around. You got to subscribe to us. You got to leave us comments down below. You got to do all this stuff, because why not? You're here, you're watching us, you might as well. What else you got to lose? So go ahead and do all that stuff that we always tell you guys to do. And please keep coming back and watching our channel, because you're the greatest maniacs in the world. And you all have turtle power. You have turtle power now. You've watched the original films, you've got turtle power. So why not continue it?